make sure I'm running. Welcome in, everybody. If you're just popping in, we are just making sure the stream is live in all the places. Yes, hello, Maddox X. Yes, hello, DTLX. Yes, hello, Maddox Makes Plays on YouTube. We are live and we are recording. So, if you guys miss anything, don't worry. We have a recording of it. We're going to go right into a lesson today on thumbnails. Boop. Let me share the screen for those in the Discord. I know you guys like a share screen versus a video screen, so let me post that like this here. Hi. We're going to make some of these today, and we're going to be using Canva. So if you have Canva either on your phone or on your computer, that's the tool we're going to use today. We're going to make thumbnails easy for everybody to understand what goes into a thumbnail. We're going to go over some of my older thumbnails that are bad. We're going to show off what a meh thumbnail looks like versus a very simple and clear and clickable thumbnail is. I'm going to go find one actually right now. But yeah, it's an art lesson, guys. You know how Maddox Mondays go. We are here. Welcome in. Why are we talking about thumbnails today? A lot of you guys doing social media work for other projects. Some of you guys are doing your own videos and you need something to click on. Okay? Thumbnail's the first thing you see on YouTube. It's what makes you click on the thing. So we need to make it pop. Let's go to YouTube right now and see what pops up. Don't judge my history. Okay? I watch a lot of weird stuff on YouTube. All right, so let's see if we go to how to pick a thing. How to cut cucumbers. Right? Let's see if anybody has a really good thumbnail for how to cut cucumbers. Cut cucumbers like a badass. How to dice cucumbers. How to cut cucumbers matchsticks. All right. That's pretty. Cucumbers for sushi. Let's look at something else. Warborn is a game I've been playing. Let's see who's doing really interesting Warborn stuff. New sci-fi MMO Warborn. Okay, cool. Warborn, new player guide. Warborn, first look. Starting tips. Guy smiling and pointing. All right, let's look at this, guys, for a second. Wish I could just see his thumbnail and not. Let's see if it lets me see that. Might need to take a screeny shot of the thumbnail. Yeah, let me do that. Okay. We're going to look at this. Let me go to my screenshots and find it for you guys. Pictures. Nope. C drive pictures. And screenshots. Blue. Grab this. All right, let's evaluate this fella. I don't know who this fella. This is his thumbnail for starting tips. First off, all right, whatever the subject is, we probably want to talk about the subject, okay? Yes, this is going to go in your title too, but if you can say Warborn anywhere here, that would be nice, right? That way, without looking at the title, because not everybody's going to be able to read it, especially on mobile, when all you're looking at is thumbnails, scrolling, blue, 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 blue. We probably want to have something indicating Warborn. This is a big mess. Warborn is a big mess game. It's a big MMO, one instance super fighting, war kind of game. So it's very messy. The background is very busy, right? He's got his picture. He's pointing. He's very enthusiastically pointing. He's kind of enthusiastically pointing, right? If you can throw yourself in there, he's probably in the video itself and talking about this, so we'll get to know him more. But he's kind of blending in the background because he didn't use any kind of effect around his image. So he's blending into an already messy background and it's kind of meh. Another thing to consider when you are using real pictures of yourself is the lighting edging on the photo. It's not bad because, you've got some yellows and purples, but this is purple here. So like if there's not light coming from this direction of the background, that might look weird. If this was on the other side, it'd be like, where's the light source coming from, right? So stuff to think about there. Another way we can fix this up is just like outlining it with that like iconic YouTube outline Canva makes it really simple. I use a 9-point. I'll show you that when we go do ours. Starting tips, right? Big, bold, right? We know it's starting tips, all right? But this is not starting. You're not starting into this big fight. Maybe like one way to accomplish both things, if we are going to use a game image, is maybe like your first plot with your first data mech thing. Like nothing's going on. Everything's blank. It's just you standing next to the camel thing or something, you know, starting off. This is endgame shit. So, whatever. That's being extra picky. If we wanted to, I think the background is just too messy for me. The chat also showing up in the image is a little messy. He's also got his stream chat here as well, and I bet you he's under himself in this image. I bet you this is a straight from stream image that he took and put his body over top of his little person. If we look at the video, I bet you, yeah. Oh, he's on the other side. I don't know. Either way, I bet you he's covering some stream, because this doesn't look like the stream, but I see stream chat. So, just thoughts out loud. I haven't looked or reviewed any of this before, so this has nothing to do with Warborn, but if this guy has this fun little fat guy cartoon image on all of his stuff, let's check it out. Another thing we think about with thumbnails is, do they all kind of go in a flow? Like, do they have a theme, right? Can you recognize that this guy talking about Albion Online continues to talk about Albion Online? Like, he's got a series of Albion clips, I'm sure. If we go to his playlists, let's take a look at all of his thumbnails. Okay, so he's got a theme, right? He's probably taking the template and adjusting slightly, which is fantastic. If you can do that, you have brand recognition for your thumbnails, okay? When you look at the thumbnail, it's the thumbnail. It makes sense. That's a blank video because I've seen that guy before, right? You know, I recognize this thumbnail style, so therefore I know that Swole Benji is on talking about this thing now, right? Let's go to Mr. Beast. He pays people to build thumbnails for him. A lot of money, and that's where we're, right? If you go to Mr. Beast videos, check out his playlist. He studies this stuff. Let's go to videos. He studies this stuff. He's very, very aware of what goes on his thumbnails and how they present, all right? Every image has Mr. Beast on it, okay? Because he is his brand. Mr. Beast. It's literally called Mr. Beast. So if he's not on that image, it probably doesn't make sense. It's probably not a Mr. Beast thumbnail, okay? Another thing, do you see a lot of words on anything going on? Days, picture, face, couple words, okay? Because what he's doing here is he's avoiding almost nearly all text, so he can tell a story through the picture, okay? He's got big number day 94, and some guy tasing him, right? In what appears to be a jail. I already know what that video is about before I read it, but now I want to find out more. Why is the guy being tased? Whatever. This is just an interesting one. I'm not really sure what that one is. So that one doesn't really grab me, honestly. But day 97, but he's on a plane in a thunderstorm? You know, like, it's not a lot. Day 1, day 200. All right, very cool. So just think about simple is more, okay? We don't want busy as much as possible. All right, this is a very obviously good use of, he does very well for himself. We know this. So it's very easy to say he's doing very well. I know he has a couple of thumbnail artists that work for him, and they all have to be in sync. Okay, that's another thing. So be aware of the brand, be aware of the style, the tempo of what the thumbnails are going to be, especially if you're joining in on an art team and being a part of. So once you learn the formula, you have to stick to that formula, and that's how you keep brand recognition there. Okay. So those are a bunch of Mr. Beast ones. Very, very simple. All right. They don't have the title in them. That's just something to note. Let's go to, I don't know, anybody else you guys want to point out that you recognize their thumbnails right away? Is there no sound? I don't know. Can everybody hear me? Just give me a heads up in chat that you can hear me. Baba Sam can't hear me in the chat. Can I get some chat? Let's see. Okay. All right. No worries. Thanks, Bubba. Just checking. All right. So, those are Mr. Beast thumbnails. Let's go to Yeah Mad. They started doing thumbnails. It's pretty simple. Like they were a dad. I watch them. They're just funny guys that do dad jokes and weird stuff. This is original stuff. But yeah, it's just person dad jokes. I don't know. They keep it really, really simple, and then more of the details go into the title than they do into the thumbnail itself. Right? Asking provocative questions, like big, questions that make you go, huh? I don't know. Why? And then there's a whole nother, we could talk about vertical thumbnails as well. But the whole theme of this is we want to keep it simple because usually on mobile, it's small. Okay. We don't need to have words everywhere. I'm breaking my own rules. We'll roast mine next. So this was the thumbnail for today. Thumbnails are easy. I do have join today. I have even more small words here, but it's part of the logo. So we can cancel that out. But if it was only this big, right? You're not going to read just to join today. You're not going to read CJF here. You're going to see the Discord icon, maybe. You're going to see my face, and you're going to see thumbnails are easy, right? That's all you're going to see if you're scrolling around. If you're up close, in my Twitter post, you might see it. But otherwise, you're really only to see the details that are big, okay? We don't have anything crazy on the background. We tried to contrast. We have a lighter purple gradient over with dark lettering, all right? You see how the white's not really coming out very well, all right? It's a little, it pops, but does it take away too much? Maybe, right? I'm not perfect, guys. But let's go to that outline trick I was talking about. So I took a picture of myself going, ooh, and without the outline, let's take that off. It loads, right? Let's go to, it's just a shadow effect. All right. Totally free tool. Without it, it's still there. But it just doesn't pop as well. Right? I blend into the background. I kind of fade away a little bit. Okay. So without, right? So just a thought. Like I said, it's just a shadow. If we go back to it, you're going to go into effects. You're going to click on the image, go to edit, go to effects, click into the effects. The effects are outline. When you start putting an outline on something, it's going to offer you, I think, 25 point, which is a very thick one. Not bad either. I mean, it will work. It's very, a lot of people will just use this. That's why you're going to see it on anything, YouTube thumbnail wise. It's thick. It's a thick boy. I found for me, I prefer 9 point. That's just the point I go to, but ooh, it highlights without distracting. It cuts me out of the image. It puts me right on top. Doesn't blend me in, right? Any questions so far, guys? We're going really fast with this one, which is okay, but I always want to make sure you guys can catch up and do what you're doing. If you have any questions, any ideas, any thoughts, bring them up. And of course, you guys are also welcome to come up and ask as well if you'd like. All good. Is it bad to blend in? If you're the main subject, you want to stand out just as much as your title, I would imagine. Like we were showing in the Mr. Beast videos, it's not bad. He's got a lot of AI going on now, so he becomes the center of the image. Let's go back to videos. It's not, but you have to make yourself be the, if you're the subject, you want to be the focus of the image, right? Pretty clearly the focus. Like if you're just scanning quickly, I just see Mr. Beast faces. That's all I'm seeing over and over again. Like I could muck out the rest of the details and just notice his face 100 times, right? So it's not bad to blend in, but you have to make sure that image is doing a good job of focusing the subject, whether that's you or whatever you're focusing. It's probably a good thing to stand out somehow. But no, it's not always bad. if it makes sense, especially in, I don't know if I would want, I mean, if we go back to let's go to the idea that this guy had. Where did, drop this in for a fun little project here. Boop. Throw this guy's video image up as a background, if you will. All right, so let's say we're using this. It's a really terrible idea, but we're gonna try it. All right, so let's just take that. We'll put it into the background layer. Very, very busy. We're gonna delete that. I'm gonna take myself. I'm gonna flip myself. Weird. Let's just rotate. Bonk. So, I mean, aside from all the extra funny that I've put here, stand out pretty good. I don't know if we'd want to have all this, but if we did, we'd, center it on the thing so it wasn't in the way, or we'd cover up that wording maybe, boom. Now we've covered up the wording and added a call to action. A little bit. Call to action, join today, join the Discord. Made it a little bigger, easier to read. Still maybe a little too many words, honestly, because by the time somebody clicks into the thumbnail, it's gone, right? They only have to see it, and then they go right into the video, right? That's why there's not a lot of information right on the thumbnail per se, because they want you to find out more, right? If we have any words, it's just, to help you, what's 20,000? Planting 20,000 trees, my biggest project ever, right? But that's a big number. Is that dollars? Is that people? Is that days? Mr. Beast does a lot of crazy shit. It's a big number though, right? I'm gonna click a little further. Stuff like that. Stuff I like at that. Any other questions? You can decide if it makes sense or not. I mean, personally, I think in this situation where there's a lot of mess behind you, you'd want to put an outline between you and the background. Another thing you can do, I always call out Moglin's little trick here. Go to Elements, add a square, cover the whole thing. Go to Alt-1, brings up your layers. You're going to take this layer that we just made, put it over the background, and you're going to make it black. And then you're going to bring down the transparency to like 6. Okay. And now you've differentiated yourself even more so. I can hide it. So this is with. It doesn't overall darken it, but with, without, right? Just looking at me versus the background. Just pops you up a little bit. Highlights the things you've made text. I would do the same thing. I'd put it under the layer of starting tips, right? Yee. So that's what's up. Let's go into. So again, if we wanted to start this off from scratch, let's go into home. We'll make a new one. So first things first, and also as well, like you guys can do this, but I'll probably notice when you're making your logo, or like we're gonna be doing thumbnails as the project today, or for the week, and you can always go into templates and do thumbnail, but what's that? This can give us some ideas as well. I wouldn't say to just grab this and copy verbatim. As well, a lot of these are going to be premium tools if you want to use them, but you're more than welcome to use them as inspiration or even as a starting point. But if it looks exactly the same, people are going to know that looks very templated because these are, these pop up anytime you type the word thumbnail or the same dimensions or YouTube or anything that's video related. These will pop up as options so people see these and kind of recognize them. But let's just like thinking about all the concepts. Like, I don't like that her head is covering the B, but that's all right. ASMR mukbang. This is a like, hey, like make $3,000 per week. How to? Let's go. Right? She's using the outline trick here. That is 25 point right there. She also used a shadow as well. Normally you can't do that. So they took this image, they cut it out, they put it back in, and then they put another shadow on top. Crazy. This is using highlights, blotch of color behind to kind of like put a spotlight on them, or just say, hey, boom, person, background. So that's another way to blend them in. This is pretty seamless here. This can only be done with a really good green screen setup, okay? Because the background remover will not do this on fine hair. They did a really good job on that. That's tricky. That or the image itself was taken in front of this yellow background. Also another option. Because that looks almost near impossible if they cut that out. We can find out. Let's go to customize template. Let's see if he is himself an image. Aha. See? Look at that. It is over top of a yellow background. That's how they did that. Very cool. So wherever they cut this image out of, he had some yellow behind him. And then when they went to choose the background color, they probably chose from the same palette of this color, which is really cool. Or probably from his shirt even. So that's neato. And you don't even notice like from afar, you do not notice the blending. But from a close, that's pretty hard blending right there. But they did a really good job. They did a really good job of that. So, if you are blending, just be mindful of how you're blending. This is really simple. You got two colors here, right? You've got the subject in one color. They are wearing the color. So it is literally like a left and right image. Yellow and red. First thing you're going to see is going to be red. Bright colors, emissive colors, stuff like that. Teal, light green. And then, going in between, very nice. But against red, contrast, white. If we did this in black, this would not look as great. Okay, that looks very dark, right? It's not. It does not bring your eyes here. Okay, so the lightest color is where the eyes are going to go first. The darkest color should be in the background, shadows, stuff like that, to kind of push away the attention. Okay, so the lightest thing is going to be seen first. And the lightest thing we have is white. Okay, and the brightest thing, as far as color goes, would be red, yellow. Those are all good. These are a little color theory for you. Yeah. Anybody have any other use cases or questions or specifics or how to do this, Maddox, or blah, blah, blah? Talk about this one. Let's look at I like the green ethereal kind of thing. Let's see what that breaks down to. You can also look at like common fonts. This is a very simple font, Anton. And what they did was with the effect was they used the, what did they use? Hang on. The shadow. And then the shadow is the color that they want it to, double layer on. If you made it black, it would be kind of boring and almost not there. So they made it a similar color, but a darker color than the font itself. You never want it to be the same color, obviously, because it's just going to look washed out. Use something contrasting to help it pop. Build some, like, now it looks like that B is a little thicker than it is, right? It's just a flat thumbnail. But, when we look at the B looks like it has some like it's a stacked up B, like it has some thickness to it. Yeah, thick boy. And you can even adjust that even further if you wanted to tighten this in, right? Now you really look like you have a thing, but it also has to make sense with the direction that it's turned. Okay, but we just made that look really thick. If we want to check line spacing, we can even not line spacing, letter spacing. As long as it fits, of course. Woo. Come back. Make bigger. Thank you. Okay. So I just changed the direction, and that makes it, you know, a little less, you know, that way. But I like what they did there. It's still blocky without being blocky. You can almost imagine the lines there, which is good. There's also echo. That's another fun one to use. You know, gives it really boom, but you have to really mess with the colors here, which we will do with this. Or let's go back to that orange there. It's red. Brother. All right. So that's another option. Stacking it up, adding different gradient of those. But the most important thing is your shadows should be darker than what's in front, right? So yellow, we went to orange because it's darker yellow. Fun. You could also use like mustard, I guess. Let's go to the effects and go to this. Let's click on the yellow itself. And if you want to find a mustard, just go to add new color. It's going to be at the color you're at. You can just drop that down. That's going to go into the darker. So we don't like that. Let's go darker on the color wheel. Darker brings it to orange, right? If we went lighter, it would be weird. It'd be so weird, right? It's green. It's kind of yucky. Let's look at blue. Right? Dark blue. Dark blue. Now we're into different hues. And this hue is pretty bright right here, right? Almost as bright as the yellow, but it's blue. It looks a little weird. I don't like that. So go back here. Purple. You know me, I like purple. Pink is cool, but it's bright. Red, very red. You know, just think about what you're up to. I liked that orange, so we're gonna stick with that. Bonk. It's almost red, and it doesn't clash with the green too much. What I wanted to grab this for was I wanted to see what they used for his hue, and I'm pretty sure it's the glow effect. Go to edit, hope that it jumps in. Oh, he's busy, Ferocity. Don't worry about Terrace. He's busy. All right. So then, but I got it. I got this, right? I'm doing okay. Y'all know me. All right, go to shadows. Yep, they're using the glow effect here. And down here you have the parameters of the glow effect. Just as equally, we can go to that orange if we wish. Let's find the orange. Oh my gosh, I am laggy lag. Is laggy lag. We're gonna shut this off. We're gonna shut that off. Something is laggy lag. All right, cool. Let's go. Oh my, I am super laggy. Oh, hands off, hands off. Oh. All right, so now we made him orange. Then we would have to match these things. How did they do this? It's saying it's red. What is red? That's green. That is green. What is going on? It's an effect. I betcha. It's a filter. None. Wait. How is this green but presenting as red? Interesting. Do they have one of the adjust inverts on? Here we go. There's their color edit. But it's still presenting as green. Doesn't make sense. It does not make sense to me. I don't know. In theory, if you click on this color and it's an image, it should take on that color. But it's not doing that, which is weird. But all this is just a puff of color. We go into elements. Let's look for like smoke, you know. You can find stuff like this. A lot of this is going to be premium. But there's nothing saying you can't just grab shapes if you wish. There's a lot of things that aren't premium. Here's like a splotch of pink cotton candy looking stuff, and it's also a little transparent. If it's too opaque, you can always click on transparency and drop it down. Ooh, right? You know, if you just want it some background blach, we go to color, make it green. Let's make it orange, and then you have to change the second one as well, because that's the highlights. Yellow. Ugh, that's kind of gross. Something is pulling. Does he have a green filter on here? All right, let's look at the layers because something's up. Something is up. All right, what is this layer? Let's go to add page. Let's look at the layers. What is this? All right, so this is this is an image of like a house. Ah, windows from the inside. Okay, so they took an image and they dropped the transparency down to use as a filter, or just some background detail. That's really cool, right? And when it's layered incorrectly, I can find it again. Yeah. Where did I put it? Let's get some splotches, right? We can really dissect this if we want to. So that's the original image. You just dropped it down so it's barely there. Make it dirty looking. Here's the house or the windows. Nope. Where'd I put my windows? I put my windows somewhere. Uh-oh. Here we go. There's the windows. Bring the transparency up. Then we have to, all right, there it is. Put it onto the main. There we go. Bring the transparency down. It's so subtle you wouldn't even notice it. It's just like, you know, it's cool. They did a good job with that. They made grime with those. They used windows. But it's all that's in front of him right now. So let's Alt 1 is how to get to layers, guys. Put it behind him. Yep. Okay. See what it looked like before? It was on top of him. Not so great. Behind. Right? Always subject on top. Right? Subject, lettering. I added this later. Behind. Behind. Right? Now, no matter what we put back there, as long as it's behind, doesn't matter. Right? But we don't want too much. We don't want too much. This guy did a lot, but dropped the transparency down so much, you barely noticed that window. I almost missed it. He had it down to like 13 or 9 or something. It was like that much. Barely noticed it was there. Let's go to the splotches. Splotches. Again, just touched in there. This one touched in there. It's there, but it's not, right? This cloud thing I put in there, kind of silly. There we go. We've added without adding, right? So think about all those things. But if we're going to keep it simple, let's make a new one. Go to create. We can talk about size too. Most of these things are going to be 1080 by 1920. You can also 1280 by 720. That's another good one. Yep. So YouTube thumbnail template right now is showing 1280 by 720. That's just for good resolution for mobile because it's going to be small. You don't need the big, you know, if somebody's looking at it on a computer, you might need even 24, what is it, like 24 by, there's a bigger one than that for more detail. But we're not looking for detail here. We're looking for, but we're just not looking to make tiny things that we have to worry about the detail so much. So we don't need as many pixels. 1280 by 720 is what we're streaming in right now, I think. No, I'm streaming in 1080 and 60 FPS. I'm so sorry, guys. I usually have been. Oh, let me change that for you. For those in house here, let me change that to 30 and 720. I apologize. All right, there we go. And boom. Okay, for those that were having trouble watching, I apologize. You should be fine now. I should have checked that before. I needed to go up some more. How'd you put the shadow on an image? Not a problem. Very good question. Easy peasy. So, let's say you have your image. You've cut him out already. All right, let's just put him down here so we can play with it. Go. Okay, so here's our image. We're gonna use a white background for fun. Let's straighten him up a little. All right, now edit. Dude, something is lagging me out. What is up? Okay, so you just go into, you click on the image itself, all right? Assuming you've already got something cut out. If you didn't, you could use the Pro Tool background remover or remove.bg, and you can cut out that way. Also, shadow can help hide some of your cuts as well. So we're going to go, but you click on the image, you go to, oh, actually, let's remove it. Restore. Show original image. So it was already cut out and they used it again? Ooh. Interesting. Nice. He's on a blue background. Neat. Sorry. Something is lagging me out. But yeah, he's on a blue background. That's really fun. So let's not. But cut out your image. Yeah, refresh this page really quick. I'm having an issue here. Control F5. A hard reset. What could be slowing me down right now? Not downloading anything. It's just you guys. I'm streaming, sure, but that's not a big one. That off. Maybe Telegram's hold me down. Weird. Weird. Turn that off. Turn that off. Let's just stick here. All right. So I added some shit to his background. Whoopsies. Bet you I can just Control Z. We'll be fine. I cannot. Control Z and be fine. All right. I apologize. Slowing down because my computer's slowing down. Oh, balls. We messed it up. And now it's not thinking. All right, I'll get you a better image. Bye-bye, Mr. Friend. Let's go to uploads. Let's grab. All right, so I made these for, we're gonna do a finals golf tournament one of these days. Here's a golfer I made in the finals for those that play. It's not gonna be correct, but let's say you take your image, background remover. It's background removed. All right, this is the flat image on the canvas. That away. All right. All you need to do is go to edit. Once you have the image selected, go to edit. And then you're going to go to shadows, my very favorite tool, my very favorite effect of all on Canva. A typical one that I will do is glow. Note that it shrinks the image when you add the shadow because it has to account for that within the bounding box. You just have to bring it back up, but don't let it cut off the shadow. See how it's like on the edge there? That'll be noticeable. You don't want to do that there. It's also pretty prominent, like it's a very thick background. So you can go in and change the size, right? Very prominent, very blurred, very not blurred. That's just like drawing around it. You can just reset those. Okay. Go to edit again. Go to the shadows. So you have glow as one of them. It's a very simple kind of across the board one. If you have a light source in your image and you want to use a shadow, you can most certainly use a shadow. If this one, the light is coming from this direction. If we want it to show the other way, we go to angle, and now he's facing the thing. Now in this image, like you can see, he's got light on this shoulder and dark on this shoulder. It would be kind of weird that he also has light going this way, so the shadow behind him doesn't make sense, right? We'd want to angle that how the light presents, which is about there. Yeah, that's about right. But yeah, just make sense of it to the image itself. If you try to be fancy and put a shadow in the other direction, I'm like, nah, no thanks. You can absolutely change the color of the shadow. Now he has a red shadow. Now he has a green shadow. Now he has a blue shadow, a pink shadow. You can do whatever you want. That's the best part. If you want to play with them, more than happy to play with them. This is the iconic 25-point outline, which is a shadow effect. I like to use 9. 9 seems to be gets the job done without being overpowering, right? Let's go to There's, you know, like scrapbooky looking ones. Page lift is cool. Not necessarily for body images, but it's okay. Curved, if it's on something, cool. Meh. Backdrop is really neat. This is to make it look like the room is bigger, right? Because the shadow is now laying on the ground. You can absolutely change the direction, and now it looks like something in a room, right? Depending on where you want the light to go. Obviously, the light's coming from this direction, so we're gonna make it like this, right? Oh my goodness, it is. It's trying to go from page 1 to page 2 a lot. So for that reason, I'm going to delete the page and all the images here, so we can play on here instead. Get up here, bonk. Okay, there we go. Now it'll stop messing with me. So this is really cool. If you're wanting to make something look like it's there, it's very neat. Let's go to the shadows tool again, and you can just change your direction wherever you want it to go. Right? We've now made a 2D image look very, very, you know, alive. Right? I am recording. Yes. You can find it on either of my Twitters. Twitter for Maddox Makes Art, Twitter for Dream Test Labs, or YouTube Maddox Makes Plays. We have it. We'll get you that link and all that fun. But yes, we are recording. You can also change how much it presents. If it wants to be thick or blurred, you can do all that. Intensity, right? How intense that shadow is. You can choose all of that there. All good. And this is a free tool. This is not anything that costs money for Canva. Shadows are free. Use them up. Use them up. Please, what's the other question that you wanted to ask to the young proof? The young professor? Just that we're recording? Put a little light at your picture. Tell me more. Yeah, Maddox Monday. What's up, Jay? What do you mean I put a little light on my picture? It came with the picture. You asking how that shine is there? When I took the image, the first picture or banner display before we start. Young Proof, do you mind requesting up? I don't know if I can let you up, but Terrace is here. I think he can let you up if you want to ask the question. I'm not getting your text. I not understand. If that would help. The first picture or banner you displayed before we start. You mean my? Let me see. What's up, man? Yeah, so talk to me. Yeah, what's the question?
When we first start the event, you first displace a banner. The banner is showing your picture with a CJF friend. When we first start.
Yes, let's go back to that.
Of yours.
All right, let me. I played with it, so let me get rid of what I did there. What?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
In this image, how do you put this small light on at the back of your picture?
Oh, the gradient? Like where this is more pink than this is purple? Is that the light you're talking about?
Yeah. I'm just look, if you look at your picture, there's a little light at the back of the picture. You know, this one is different from shadow.
This one here? My picture?
Yeah. The lights, the little at the edge of your picture, there is the white line. Yes, I'm talking about the white line.
That's also a shadow. Yeah, that's also a shadow tool.
Okay, it's a shadow.
It's called outline. So you go into effects or edit, effects, shadow. That is me selecting the outline. And when you start with this tool, it's going to do this. It's going to add 25 points of shadow or of outline, right? Very thick. I change it typically. I found 9 works really well, just to be a little edge. But you use it how it makes sense to the image, against the words, against everything. If you need a little more and a little less, depending on the image. Yeah.
Okay.
Things with detail No, absolutely, absolutely. Things with detail. Let me see if I can find another example of. All right, here's my hand. Right, this is me in my hand. If I put that same, oh, I don't want that. Shoot, that's not gonna even work because it's like we can't detect a background. Okay, go edit, go to shadows, go to outline. First thing it's gonna do is offer this big thick outline, right? But if this was my image that I was outlining, right, my fingers are now like Muppet size, right? Huge. So that's why I usually use for more detailed pictures or things that have a little more edge or outline to them. I use 9 because you can actually still define the things, and now I have fingers instead of mittens, right? So that's another way to do it. Another thing,
Now,
if you are going to
if
use,
you want to put
yeah,
this image, if you want to put this image at the back of this picture, you know that if you want to put this image now on this picture, that you put your hand in your mouth, it won't stay at the back. How will you put it at the back of the picture?
you need to go to layers. So Alt 1, and then you have all the layers of how things are laid out. And so if I wanted my, my falling self to be behind my oops self, I would just drag it and it has to go underneath me. And now it's behind. Layers in layers. Right? Now it's on top of that, under that. Right? As long as just layers are just, yeah. Anything on top will show first, anything behind will show at the end or at the bottom. Layers.
Okay, thank you.
Oh yeah.
Thank you. I really understand now.
Okay, good. No, that's what's up. Anything like no, these perfect questions, man. Like this is it's like not hard stuff. It's just where are the buttons, you know? It's always good questions. For
Okay,
sure.
let's continue. If I see another question, I'll
Oh
ask.
no. Yeah, you're good. I thought you were talking about the gradient here. If you want something a little more, like I used a gradient instead of I can use straight purple, which will just be one flat color. But if I want to add a gradient, see if it'll let me do that. All right, that's my filter. Let's go to the color wheel here, and then you click on add new color. You can do solid colors, right? When you pick the color, it's solid color and it's just one color, and you can pick from something else in the image and might match. But if you want to make it a little more interesting, gradient is good because it'll let you pick multiple colors. Let's do something really contrasty so you can see the differences. All right, there we go. Boom. That's that. So you can do whatever you want. Make it interesting without being too difficult. This can also help you show light if we were doing that. Let's go back to our friend here. Black gradient. So white. And the second color is gray right now. We're going to make the second color black. Right? So now we have light to dark. Just an example for that. If we wanted to do this right, we would make his shadow black. And we would bring down the intensity because nobody needs all that. A little crazy. And if we want to match the direction, probably all the way almost. Almost all the way there. And I don't know if I want there we go. I don't want us to see his feet. Feet are a little. Oh, I think I can actually add. Hang on. There's a way I can blur him out. I want it to stick on his feet a little more, and it's not really doing that. Also a way to. Sometimes it lets you change the type of gradient as well. These are just styles. There's also a way to like adjust how much gradient you have on each side. We could do this one and invert it, but it's more like this. Let's find the corner one. Here's the corner one. Probably a good one too. So it just depends on what you want to do. I don't like that one actually because the shadow would be way over here if that was the light. How did I make the shadow pink? You click on the image, you go to edit, you go to shadows, you go to the shadow under blur and direction. There's color. And then you can change the color to whatever you want. You can have a pink shadow. You can have a blue shadow. You can do whatever you like. Up to you. Yes, exactly. You can change the intensity. You can change the blur amount. You want it to be defined. You want it to be blurry. You want the direction to change. You want it to be over here now. You can do that all you want. Yes. Yes. That is good there. Any other fun questions? Let's talk font really quick, and then we'll let you guys go in 5 minutes or so. So you want to add some of the fonts. All right, if we just do this as our font, very boring, gross. That's not good font for the thumbnail. Why? Because it's too thin, it's too small. If we were like this far away, your paragraph text is very hard to read. We want big, we want bulky, we want in your face, billboard, side of the bus, you know? We want big, right? We want bulky. All right? Some of the common ones, bangers, right? Bangers, it's a banger. Your paragraph text, banger. All right? If that's too spread out for you, you can go to the advanced settings and go to letter spacing, right? That'll adjust the letter spacing. If you want it to be tighter, line spacing lets you bring it in tighter, okay? Ooh. None of that's Pro Tools, guys. It's all free, okay? Boom. Your paragraph text. When you have your text how you want it, bring the bounding box close to the edge. You do this because when you want to line this thing up with the center, if this is all the way over here with all this extra stuff, it has to consider all this extra stuff and it won't get your middle very easy. So bring it in tight to the edge as you can. And then you have a nice tight image to work with. Boom. Now it's right in the center. Not that it works for this image here, but yeah, if you want to line it up with the outside edge, now it's actually thinking about the margin lines between the bounding box of the text and the actual like center square of this image. So, you know, don't have it like, let's, I'm trying to make it not work. Okay, cool. So like, if I try to line it up with the middle now, like it's got this much space from here to here and this much space from here to here. That's not what we want. We want to bring it in as tight as we can so that it matches all of that. And then boom, now we're thinking. All right, now it's even across there. If we put it in the corner there, even in the corner, nice and even. Again, if banger's not enough, you can go to effects and we can put the outline on that. We can make the outline white. Bangers. Your paragraph text. All right, that's one. Another one I really like lately is the there's a graffiti one. Where is that? If you like the finals, you do this font with all caps. I had to download this font. If you like a font that, you know, somebody else is using, usually you can find their fonts in their media kit, and then you can go to their, if they're really awesome, they go to the media kit and they drop in their fonts, and then you can actually upload your own font. That's also free. Somebody's asking me a question in chat. Let's see. Are you finishing entering? Are you finished entering? Can you do the text like is place on the wall? How so? Oh, are you finished eating? Terrace. How do you make the shadow fall? Yep, in the edit, in the details there. Positioning, right where you do your, there's Terrace.
Yeah, I'm done eating.
All right, all good. Yeah, we're wrapping up. We're just playing around at this point. But yeah, find big, bold, fun text, you know, do your thing. If you want to take inspiration, you can go to YouTube. You can even just ask, like, what are the most common YouTube thumbnail fonts? And it'll tell you. Bebas, New, Anton, Oswald. I want to find out what Bebas New is now. Beba. What are you, Bebas New?
See, Maddox comes up here, he teaches what he teaches, and then he uses this as exploration time.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, dude, if I'm not learning with you guys, I'm doing it wrong. I don't know it all. I'm just showing you guys what I've banged my head against, for the last 5-10 years. Like, I'm just learning with you guys, okay? I like this one. It's very, very nice. That is Bebas Nu. If somebody can pronounce that better than me in a Nigerian accent, I would love to hear it. But yeah, that's fantastic.
Go ahead,
Great.
D Young, it's your time to shine.
Yeah. This right here. Do it. Do it. This one is Bebas Nua. I'm not doing it right, but I love it. It's fantastic. And then there's Anton. I've used Anton. I've used Impacts. Pretty famous. Bangers is the one I know very well. There's this other one I really like is this one. This one is nice. If you're into the graffiti style thing, it's sprite graffiti. It's cool. It's cool because you can use it with a shadow, and then you can also use it with an outline and make the outline black or just invert, whatever you want to do. So that's white on black, and then this one is white on the background, and then you click here for this one. It's a little different with text because both work, right? But it's not going to all be in the same place because you've got the color. All right, so when you first select it, the color is the text itself, okay? The white, black, blue, right? So you can see the color of the text is here. But then you have to, if you want to change the white outline, go to Effects, then the outline, then the color wheel here, and then you can start changing that. See? So that is a little deceptive. I lose that sometimes too. Place the text to the wall. Change the background to a wall. You want a wall? Let's do a wall. Elements. Brick. A brick. That's a shitty brick. A real brick. Yeah. Edit. Go to adjust. We're gonna, okay, so this, I'm gonna take a real image and I'm gonna make it a texture. Which is kind of fun to do. Take the image, okay? You can go into go start from the beginning. Click on image, okay? Go to, click on image, edit, adjust. Nobody messes with this, but this is a really fun, there's a lot of stuff in here. Change the temperature. Now it's a sunny day. Now it's a cold day, right? Yeah. You can, if you have white, it's like yellow or purple counterbalance each other on the color wheel. So if something's too yellow, you can tint it purple a little bit and it'll make it look white. That's just a weird little know-how thing. Brightness, of course, like too bright, too dark. Let's see, but what I was looking for actually was saturation. I want to make it gray. So now I take the saturation all the way down. Now you have an old picture. Okay. Right. Vibrance. You can change. But that's just a really easy turn it grayscale. You can invert colors too. Kind of fun. Right. Now it's something totally else. Whatever you want. But there's a lot of adjust tools. But the really easy ones are saturation and the invert color. And then if I want to add that, so vignette is to make tunnel vision, right? So it's a little black overall shadow around everything. Vignette, it puts a little shadow around the corners and how intense your vignette is. That's an anti-vignette. It's a white vignette, so it brings the center, makes it look rounded, sort of. But yeah, typically the black vignette is noticed in darker films or stuff like that. So we'll do a black vignette over that. And then we will, of course, get rid of this one and we'll bring this one behind it. And then we're going to use this as a filter. So I'm going to go to that transparency button and bring that all the way. Ooh, I don't like that the white is overtaking it. So let's let's change the background color off the gradient we were using to black, or even white. Ugh, I don't know if I like it, but that's the thing. You're just really playing with it and seeing what works, seeing what makes sense, you know. It's a little too faded with white, so we're gonna change the background color to black or gray. There's gray. I think black is the way, especially if we want our vignette to show up. Yeah, black is best for here. Let's see. So then we fade this out. I don't know. Honestly, it's fine in its black and white state. Pretty thick. Pretty thick. Now, are you asking me how to make it like fall into the bricks? Because that's a whole nother program. I don't have that. We're not doing that. I don't think we're gonna do that. All right, let's take this background. You're gonna put him in a room, huh? All right. Just the resolution's gonna be weird, so let's try it. I don't know if I can stretch this to make sense, because if I stretch it, I'm gonna lose a lot of floor. Okay, but we'll try. We'll put him here. All right, and then okay. I think if there's another fun thing we can do with the text. I don't typically like this, but it kind of brings the like thing into it, but it's still kind of a meh. There you go. How's that? And then here's our person. Alt-1, show the layers. We're gonna make him smaller. He's got to be on top of lettering. Let's put him here. Edit shadows. Make those shadows dark as they should be. Change the direction of the shadows. That's as far as it goes. So I'm going to use this part as my reference, because if this is going this, like, it's got to be the same in most cases. So if this is this far back and the blend is like, see how thick this is? This would tell me that there's a very bright light in front of him, right? So I'm going to change the intensity down to almost match. And I can even put it on top of the shadow and like check that the shadows are the same intensity. See that? Now they blend really well, right? Those shadows look like they're the same shadow, right? There you go, right there. Now the light matches, okay? Stuff like that. It's very subtle stuff, guys. Very subtle, but it makes all the difference.
Somebody's head when they look at it, if it's wrong, yeah.
Yeah. There you go. Now we're cooking. Now this guy looks like he lives in this room with your paragraph here and behind him. Right? We good? Did I do the job? Did I do it? Clap for Maddox. Clap for Maddox. I did good. Yay. Okay, we took a 2D image and put him in a room, and now he looks like he's in a room.
He's using Pro for Ferocity.
I am using Pro, but I think every one of these tools is all free. Yeah. I always try to stick to the free stuff.
Except for like the graphics and stuff that he was using.
Some of the graphics I'm using, maybe Pro. And then thank you. I appreciate it. That's what I wanted. Thank you, young professor. I needed that. I needed the boost. I needed that cookie. My guy.
Okay.
Thanks for the cookie. Yeah. Not that cookie, the compliment cookie. Yeah. This is good. This is good. This is good. Yeah, it does look like it fits, right? We did our best. It also did help that you gave me an image with the light facing the same direction as my image. Because if this was backwards, which I could show you, bloop. All right, now, do you see how it looks weird? You see how it looks like now there's a light over here and a light over here? I'd have to really sell that. You know, it's possible, but it also just kind of looks weird. We could sell that, but it's a hard sell. Right? It just looks
And
less.
if you had lights, if you had what looked like lights in each corner, you could pull something like that off. Like you could make this image, like you know what I'm saying?
I can do it. Watch this.
Yeah.
So you take
could
your
put,
you
like,
take.
light icons or something. Yeah.
Well, you
can
could
make
you
it
could do
happen,
that,
it's just-
or
it's
I could just
harder.
flip the image, and now it looks right again. How about that? Now he's over here. Ta-da!
Why is the wall so low on the image though?
I don't know, cause
What's
There.
cutting it off at the top there?
hold on one sec. Sorry, guys. Spammers need to know that I'm teaching classes this time of day, not answering spam calls. So, what's going on? Why is the image so low?
Yeah, the image cuts off at the top there.
I just moved it. I don't know. I did something. It's my fault.
Yeah, but if you
Blame
if
me.
you look at well, no.
Oh,
Like,
because he
if
gave
you
me a square
scroll up-
image. He gave me a square image. So I had to fit it in however I could. And I wanted more floor, so I pushed it up. If he gave me a 19 by 20 image, then or 19 by 1080, and then a different story, but I did work with what I had.
Just cut out the
Flip it back.
No, like cut out the
Flip it back.
tree. Cut
Huh?
out the tree.
Cut out the tree.
I said cut out the tree.
Why?
Like magic select tool the tree and the shadow, right? Add it to another page and then just fit
I can
the
just do
image
that.
to the background.
Huh?
Oh, I see. The image is bigger
Oh yeah, much
than
bigger.
the page.
Yeah, much bigger.
I thought the image was smaller than the page and there was like portions of it being cut off.
No.
Never mind.
I just wanted more floor. So I moved it. Yeah. It's too small. Now he looks like a very small
I was
man.
saying to save the tree, not to get rid of it. It would clip it out and then set it as your background.
It's a hard task you're asking, but I accept your challenge.
Just right click and set it to your background first. Hold on. Just go. Yeah. Go right click it. Set replace background.
With what?
What?
Yeah, what are you doing?
There it goes. Wait. No,
I just I
Yeah.
I undid it. What are you talking about?
no, because it should. Is it set as your background image right now? No.
I have other images behind it.
Why?
That's replace background. Yeah,
Replace-
you can do that. Then you have to click
Yeah,
into
and
it to
that's-
modify it.
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt to have a background. It's all good. We got it. Boop.
I don't know.
I don't know. He's also a little not clear, a little fuzzy. Edit
He is
Image
fuzzy. He's really
upscaler.
fuzzy.
2 times. This should be a free tool. I think.
I don't think the image upscaler is.
Up to
Or
a certain
up to
point.
yeah,
Usually it's like
yeah.
you can do 2x and 4x, but you can't do like blah, blah, like bazillion x. Replace. Now he's a little smoother.
Yeah, he doesn't look as fuzzy now. Yeah, it's definitely better.
See? Fancy. Fancy. So, cool. We need that. Yep. All right, cool. So, that's pretty much it. I've been playing around the last 10 minutes. What we're going to do is I'm going to task you guys with not a lighting situation. That was a fun little lighting process, but I want to see a thumbnail. This can be for a series that already exists. If you want to go to YouTube, let's see. Most important points, Terrace and Note Taker think, what I need is I want the thumbnail to be something I want to click on. So don't put all the information on the thumbnail. I want very minimal information on the thumbnail. I want a background. I want a or it just needs to be an image that has me focused on the thing. Okay, right? This took, oh wow, I want to see this because this guy's really good and this guy's really good. But they just took they took an image and they took a cutout of him and a cutout of him and put shadows behind him, and ta-da, they have a thumbnail. I want provocative questioning in the thing. Like that's huge. Like, he's leaving Dropout. What? I like him. He's one of the best guys on Dropout. Don't give me too much information. You can put a mock-up title in the we're gonna do these on Twitch. I'm sorry, not Twitch. What the hell am I saying? On Twitter as a post. So you can put the mock title in the post, along with a little descriptor going deeper. But you don't want to be showing off everything. You want the image to be clickable by itself, right? This guy's clicked on or hooked on miniatures. I didn't know they were Gundam until I read that, but there you go. I don't know. This one's pretty, it's title with a background. Fun. I'm trying to see if there's any really good examples here, but go to YouTube, find a channel you like, and you can try and copy the same recipe that they're using, right? That, like, this is big. They lied about what? I want to know, right? Very simple. I got an image on an image with some shadow techniques we talked about today. Where should we should design the front picture? The thumbnail? You can use anything at your disposal. Ideally, stuff you know, stuff you have, stuff you can get easily. You're creating a thumbnail for an imaginary video. You are creating a thumbnail that goes along with other video, like the other thumbnails in the series, right? MetaMask airdrop. I want to click on this Crypto Gorilla, right? That's Crypto Gorilla. We know him, right? Just try and, $65 for a Black Templar handbook? Codex review. Exciting. Yeah, just try and make something I want to click using some of the techniques we had today. Okay? Simple. Go simple. It's going to go a lot farther. Thumbnails are going to be helpful when, you want to start posting clips, start posting videos. You're going to need a thumbnail because otherwise people don't click on you. If they don't already know you and follow you, they're not going to click on you, right? We need something to grab attention when you're scrolling like I'm doing right now and say, what's that? Right? What is that? World's hottest chip? I don't know. You want to be simple. Simple. Right? It can be provocative. It can be, shocking, shock value. It can be a question. It can be a statement. It can be, make money. I made this much money. Or just you holding a lot of money.
Expressing what's happening in the video is usually what a thumbnail is for.
Mm-hmm.
They did what?
Yes.
Like 1,038 kills.
Yep.
Like it's all about sucking you in. That's your hook for a video.
It's a visual hook
compared to it's a visual hook to pull people in to watch compared to your text hook for a good thread start. To lock somebody in and get them really interested in whatever it is that you're doing. So think of it in those lines and work with it in that way.
Dramatize it. This is funny because I've watched I watch these guys a lot. But you see them reaching into boxes for that spider and that snake aren't anything that were actually in the box. It's just, they're just using it to grab your attention. We'll write it up, young prof. We'll write it up, but it's essentially the task is to create a thumbnail in simple using the skills we had today. You're going to make a thumbnail that is something I want to click. Why do I want to click it? I don't know. You will tell me with your thumbnail. Make me click it. Right? I was even going to go a step further and find a way to embed Rick Roll's video links behind your thumbnail and show you how to do that. So that you could have, if I Rick rolled myself, then you won. Or if you got the got 'em video afterwards, you got me. It'd be funny, but that's a whole nother meh. Okay. Okie dokie. Do we got it? We
All
doing?
right.
We doing it?
So that's that then.
That's that then.
That's that then. Oh fuck. All right. So
Let me shut down the
we're
stream.
gonna,
Thanks,